Hi and welcome along to Transfer Daily. With the rumours coming out today that Arsenal apparently have bid for, previously bid, should I say, for Edison Cavani. Now, there's been a lot of debate going around, especially on this show over the past couple of weeks, about do we need to get a striker in? The sort of common thought at the moment seems to be that Arsene Wenger is not going to bother to get a striker, and he's going to go with what he's got. But interesting news coming out yesterday from the agent of Edison Cavani, who told Uruguayan newspaper, and I'm going to quote this. He said, there was much interest in my player during the last 6 months. He said, I can confirm that there were offers on the table from Arsenal and Liverpool. Now, that's very interesting. Edison Cavani, not 100% happy at the moment in France at PSG. Wants to play football. Should this be, if it was if it was in the last 6 months, should this be a deal that Arsenal should go out there and reignite? Should we try and bring in Edison Cavani to Arsenal in that striker's position? It's a position where a lot of fans believe that we still need a genuine out-and-out striker. Edison Cavani is a beast in that position. We know that we haven't seen the best of him since he's been at PSG. He wasn't that great really in the World Cup. But make no mistake, he is a quality striker. When he was playing in Italy at Napoli, he was considered one of the best strikers in the world. And should Arsenal go out there and try and reignite their interest in him, he would be a lot of money, he would be big wages, but he would be that sort of world-class striker that could be the focal point of that Arsenal attack. And could you imagine a front three, say, for instance, of him, Alexis Sanchez, and Theo Walcott? I mean, that would be absolutely awesome. So should Arsenal be going out there and trying to reignite interest? From what their agent is saying, they definitely were interested in buying him because they put a bid in to bring Cavani to Arsenal. Other news today is about Sami Khedira. Now, he's been a player that's been considered to be Arsenal's #1 target to be in that defensive midfielder position, and rather disappointingly, Arsene Wenger, or disappointingly for me, because I still see him as a player that could come in and really do a really good job in that sort of holding midfielder position. He's also a player who can drop in as a centre-half if required. Well, Arsene Wenger, when asked about him yesterday at his press conference, sort of poured complete cold water on the whole thing. And his quotes were, he goes, I don't know who's put him on the market, whether it's his agent or somebody else, I don't know. We were never close to signing him, Arsene Wenger saying. And he goes on to say that they've got lots of box-to-box midfielders at Arsenal, including Jack Wilshere, and he was just waiting on his fitness. And so they're not going to be getting Cavani. Now, it depends how you look on this. If Wenger's looking on it now and just saying, listen, the wages factor, I'm just not going to bother again. And, I'm a bit worried. I must say I'm a little bit worried about this, because if we're not going to bring in Khedira, I'm worried now that maybe Arsene Wenger's looking at it and thinking, well, maybe we don't need to bring in a holding midfielder. I mean, if he's saying, right, we're not going to bring in Khedira because I see him too much as a box-to-box midfielder, and we've got a lot of those sort of attacking players already, fair enough. But we must bring in a holding midfielder, defensive midfielder. It's absolutely essential at Arsenal. It's a position to me that is more important than any other. It's a position where we got hammered by all the big clubs that we faced last season, and it must be addressed. And I'm just a bit worried with this, that Arsene's doing an old Arsene Wenger, where he sort of starts to think to himself, do we actually need that? I've got Mikel Arteta, I've got Flamini, we're going to be all right in that position. We must sign a defensive midfielder, and one that is of top quality. If we're not going to get Khedira, fair enough, if he considers him to be box-to-box midfielder and not really the type of player that he needs in that position, that's fair enough. But they must fill that position with somebody who's disciplined and good at that. If they do that, that's fair enough. if they don't. I'm going to be really, we're talking from a personal point of view, and I'm sure for a lot of other Arsenal fans, we will be really disappointed, because that position to me is kind of key to how Arsenal are going to get on this season. Talking of midfielders, linked to Adrien Rabiot, I spoke about him yesterday, from PSG. Youngster, French, sounds familiar, worth about £8 million, they're saying. There's still, again, more and more rumours about that. Again, he's a box-to-box midfielder, so does that sort of become a nonsense? The rumours are out there are that Arsenal and Chelsea are both very, very interested in bringing him in to their clubs. He's young, he plays for the French under-21s. As I said, he's only got a year left on his contract, as I reported yesterday, and Arsenal and both Chelsea are interested in bringing him in to the club. Another person that we've been linked with, we keep getting linked to this guy. Now, I'm hoping and praying that these links are not true, but every time his name's mentioned, we get mentioned as well. He's been mentioned today being linked with Everton and Liverpool as well. Both of them can have him as Solomon Kalou. Please, Arsene Wenger, do not go and buy Solomon Kalou as a striker. He's just not good enough, and he's not the sort of striker we need at Arsenal. But we're being linked with him again today. And then there was these crazy rumours that I saw yesterday that Juventus are interested in signing Jack Wilshere, might move for Jack Wilshere if they lose Arturo Vidal. Wilshere to play as a box. I think it was in a Metro. I think that's an absolutely nonsense rumour. There's no way Jack Wilshere is going to be leaving Arsenal to join Juventus. I think that rumour is rubbish, to be frank. One person though that looks like it's definitely going to be moving, and I've been saying it here for about the past 4 or 5 weeks really, that Thomas Vermaelen, it's almost nailed on that he's going to move. He's only got a year left on his contract. It's where he's going to move to. Is it going to be to Manchester United, where apparently that's where he prefers to go, or is it going to be to Barcelona? That's what the decision is ultimately going to boil down to. I'm hoping that Arsenal will sell him to Barcelona and not sell him to Manchester United, where they're going to strengthen a rival. And again, if we sell Vermaelen, we must replace him with somebody of a similar standard. I mean, Static from Manchester City has been mentioned. He might be available, but we've definitely got to fill that position with somebody that is of similar ability to Thomas Vermaelen. I just got to say, well done to the Arsenal Football Club for Members' Day yesterday. I really enjoyed it. It's the day where you get to come along to Arsenal and see the players train, and then they had some good, really good Q&As after. I got to go into the Q&A that featured a load of Arsenal new players. Joel Campbell, who in effect's a new player, Alexis Sanchez, David Ospina, Aaron Ramsey was there, a couple of the young players, Zalalem and Hayden. And I thought it was a really good Q&A, really open, and people got to ask whatever questions they want. Alexis Sanchez was so relaxed. He was really, really relaxed, really enjoying himself. Treated a little 7-year-old boy to a really nice birthday present, brought him up on stage and made everybody take a picture with him. They played table tennis. I thought Joel Campbell as well, he looked a guy of great character. And I just hope that this thing about him going out on loan's been all quashed now, and he's going to figure at the club. But all three of them, David Ospina as well, they all look excited that they're going to be playing for Arsenal this year. So all of that bodes very well. And again, well done to the football club, Arsenal Football Club, for putting on that Members' Day. Really enjoyable, really good. I actually had the guys from Redmen TV who do the Liverpool channel. I saw those guys yesterday. I was chatting to them later on, and I saw that they tweeted out to their sort of club, sort of hinting to Liverpool that they should be doing the similar type of days for their fans. So it just shows that, there are some things that the football club, we criticise them a lot, but there are some things they're getting right. And that's very, very good, that Members' Day yesterday. Really, really enjoyed it. Let me just quickly, before I go, have a look at some of your comments from yesterday. MND17 said, if we get Hummels, we push Mertesacker out of the starting 11. Remember, we were talking about defenders. Nick's X-Core 74 said, I'll say it again, screwed Khedira. Why does he think he deserves big wages at Arsenal when he comes back from an ACL injury? Plus, he's not a natural defensive holding midfielder, whereas Carvalho is. Khedira seems more motivated by money, and I don't believe his heart is in a move to Arsenal. He says, as for Royce, who we spoke about yesterday, he said, I'd be happy if he joined Arsenal. The guy's a top player and he's very versatile. Andre said, I honestly don't believe we will get Royce, but if we do, we will be serious title contenders, that's for sure. Alex Bevan 007 said, I'd rather have Carvalho than Royce. Again, that just shows you how important some fans are seeing that defensive midfielder position is very, very important. Knots Motion says Royce's favourite player is Thomas Rosicky. He said that Jack Wilshere is a top talent and his worst game he's ever played by sources show it was against Arsenal. Conspiracy, or does he want to come? Well, it'd be nice if he did. Pojamon 1234 says Rabwa makes no sense since we have Zelalem and Jack, who can't even get a spot in the midfield. Vidal 7498 says my opinion for a centre back position is Kostas Monolos. We were linked with him before the World Cup. Plus, he's a really, really good defender. Couple more here. Let's do here. Darden RS says, sign Carvalho, keep Vermaelen at all costs. I don't think that's going to happen. He says, sign Marcus Royce, and in a few months, Robbie will be uploading videos of victory parades. He says, laugh out loud. He said, forget about Khedira. He can get lost. Who does he think he is? Decent player, but his demands have truly put me off him. He says he's another Yaya Toure who thinks he's bigger than the club and not the other way around. So people starting to turn against Sami Khedira here. And last one here, Swagger Smash says, off the topic, I can't wait until Theo is back. Theo, he says. Brilliant from him. Listen, I really love and really value your opinions here on Transfer Daily. Really fantastic. Love reading through the comments. Love the little debates that the fans have between each other there talking about transfer targets. But one, I know, and I don't know what you guys think about this, if we're not going to get Khedira, we must get a suitable defensive midfielder if we're going to challenge for the title next season. Thanks for watching Transfer Daily, and we will be back tomorrow.